Well, hello there, guys and gals of YouTube world. It is Sunday, September the 19th, and I'm going to talk a little bit about stocks versus real estate. And first of all, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I encourage you to subscribe. Click the bell for notification, and feel free to comment. And please share my videos out and about on your Facebook page and via email, because I really need to grow this channel. Okay? I'm sure you're going to do this. All right, thank you. And I'll give you a quick update. I'm still dealing with the crud. Makes me wonder if it's COVID, even though a percentage of the population says COVID's fake. Anyway, real quick, Wall Street Journal. They got a great article, well-researched, goes back in history, talking about vaccines. Back under George Washington, when he was the general, he mandated vaccines for, I think it was smallpox, for his troops. And that is one reason why we are the United States of America, because the American troops stopped getting smallpox and they survived and they beat the British, okay? Because it was mandatory they get vaccinated. Fast forward to, I think it was Philadelphia in the 1800s. It was the measles. Measles, I think it was 1800s, it might have been early 1900s. Measles is pretty much wiped out, but in this small community, and I think it was Philadelphia, it was in Pennsylvania, all of a sudden children started getting the measles. And kids died. Young kids died. Kids died. And they zeroed in on why was this happening. And they found out they all belonged to one church. And in that church, they said their God would protect them. They did not believe in doctors. They did not believe in mandatory vaccinations, putting something outside into their body. And yet they let their children die. Benjamin Franklin in the 1700s, it was some vaccination, smallpox maybe. And he debated, would he give it to his young kids? He had a 4-year-old son die. You can look this up. He regretted to the day that he died as an old man that he did not give his 4-year-old child that vaccination because he lost his child. Fast forward to 2021, and we have parents refusing to get vaccinated, refusing to let their kids get vaccinated, and there are children dying around the United States. What have we come to as a country? All of a sudden it's this, oh, the government can't tell me what to do. I got the right to do this. I got the right to do that. No, you got the right to survive and to protect fellow man. If you don't believe in that, unsubscribe to my channel. If you believe in it, go get vaccinated if you're not vaccinated, okay? All right, moving on. Stocks versus real estate. Sorry to digress. All right, let's see. 1990, I was in the Navy. I had a roommate that talked to me about mutual funds. It sparked that interest. I started investing in mutual funds. Meanwhile, that roommate got indicted for drug crimes with South America into the United States and got 20 years in federal prison with $1 million fine. I don't know where he's at now. He's out of prison now, but I don't know where he's at. Okay, 1999, I invested in mutual funds throughout the 90s. I did buy a house in 1993, I think it was, that I rented until 1996. And I was up in Maine and the house was in Virginia, and I got a check in the mail every month for like $250, and my mortgage was $225. And I thought, hey, they're paying my mortgage and I make $25. I didn't know how to run numbers back then. I didn't pay anything for repairs. My tenant actually fixed things when they broke. But times were different back then. You got to run your numbers for real estate. But anyway, I digress. 1999, I found the Motley Fool. I sold my mutual funds and I started buying individual stocks. In 2005, I finally subscribed to Stock Advisor at the Motley Fool. That changed my life because now I learned how to pick the better companies that were growth companies. I learned how to make money with stocks. It's my mud water. And I learned how to become very good at choosing good companies. And from 2005 until 2018, my annualized return was somewhere between, because I don't have the numbers in front of me and I don't have them saved, 16 to 18% annualized, which is pretty good if I say so myself. Okay, that includes like the Great Recession and all that time period. All right, but then in 2018 to about 2020, as a 2-year period, my returns were like, I think one year might have been like 80-some%, one year was 110%, something like that. So they work out to about 100% return annually for those 2 years, okay? Because I focused on high growth companies, cloud stocks, because cloud stocks, you got to find the ones that are taking off. Cloud stocks in 2018-ish really started taking off. That's what I changed my portfolio from like 75 stocks down to 10 or 12, and my returns just shot up if you focus on it. Okay. But in 2017, I started thinking about buying real estate. Or 2016. I closed on my first rental house in January of 2017. And I promptly took a tenant in after I cleaned it up and did some painting, and who shafted me and did not stop paying rent, and I had to evict her. Okay, by summertime, I had a second family in there. They were good. They paid my rent. By the end of that year, I bought house number 2. I got good tenants in there who paid me my rent. In May of 2018, I closed on a triplex. Okay, it had 3 tenants already in there who were not good tenants. And over time, I got all 3 tenants out. In August of 2018, I bought my first house out of state, in the state of Alabama. Then we moved on to 2019, I kept expanding, buying more real estate. But somewhere around about 2018 to into 2019, I sat down and really ran the numbers, and I realized that real estate, even with the mistakes I made, even with the bad tenant I got, if I ran the numbers for the real estate, because if you get positive cash flow, you also get your tenant paying down your mortgage every month. They pay your rent, you pay your mortgage, they pay your mortgage down. You also get, what's the other one? There's 4 ways to make money from rental property. I'm just drawing a blank here. But you got tenant pay down, you got positive cash flow, you got amortization, you got tax savings too, because you write off the majority. When you're brand new, you can write off almost everything. As you get more rentals, you'll pay a little bit of tax. But if you make $100,000 working your job and you make $100,000 with rental income, working your job, you might pay 30% in tax. Real estate, make 100 grand, you might pay 3% in tax, 5% in tax. It's a big difference, okay? But when I ran the numbers, I realized real estate numbers blow stocks out of the water. Yes, you can buy an individual stock that might take off and get 1,400% over a period of years. But to generalize, in my humble opinion, because I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a financial advisor, real estate will blow the stocks out of the water. So for all of you folks out there who are satisfied with investing in S&P 500, you're satisfied with just letting some fund manager get rich off of your money, I dare say you'd be better off taking that money, using it as a down payment onto a rental house that you researched. You learned how to run the numbers. I'm going to show you 2 books. If you were to read these 2 books, this will teach you all you need to know about real estate investing. There's a variety of other books out there to help to keep you motivated and to learn little nuggets of information here and there. All right, but this first one is Building Wealth One Rental at a Time by John W. Schaub. It's a good book. Building Wealth One House at a Time. Get the book. It's a good book. Second book, and this one changed my life, I think. Long Distance Real Estate Investing by David Green. Long Distance Real Estate Investing by David Green. You will have YouTubers tell you don't buy out of your area where you live at. I dare say for the majority of Americans, you live in a place where real estate local to you is too expensive. Yes, if you got a high paycheck, high income, maybe you could buy real estate there. But I think, as I've proven to myself, if I buy real estate in Midwest cities where, yes, houses are cheaper, but I get them at good deals, and the rent, and I run the numbers where I have positive cash flow and long-term appreciation, it's better off, because I did that. I've gone from 0 rentals to 25 rentals. I'm paying a mortgage now of over $3,000 a month on this house that I live in. I have a swimming pool, I'm on the water. My rentals, by and large, are paying my mortgage, paying all my taxes, all my insurance, and the rental income is paying that, and allowing me to live. My wife just came down here. She's no longer employed with her job. Okay, I do have other alternative investments. Okay, and keep in mind, I am saying real estate will blow stocks out of the water if you only invest in the S&P 500. So if you're out there and you only invest in the S&P 500, you really got to look into getting rental property. And I'm not covering the numbers here in this video of how to run the numbers, but let's just say $15,000 to $20,000 could be your 20% down payment and your closing costs. And then you need a little bit of cash for reserves. If you work in a job, that little bit, that cash could come from your paycheck. If you have a repair to make, do you make enough money in your paycheck just for one rental to cover those expenses? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'll talk more on that in future videos, okay? All right, real quick here at the end, there are investments that will do better than real estate. I have branched out now into alternative investments, and I encourage anyone who has a net worth of over $1 million, not counting your primary residence, think about doing the same thing. Because as I am finding out, two different investments, we're at the proper time right now in life. You have oil drilling and you have mineral rights. Both can beat real estate or be about equal with real estate without the stress of being a landlord. But the oil drilling, I think, and I will tell you in a future video, I think has the potential to blow real estate out of the water. And if real estate blows stocks out of the water and the oil drilling blows real estate out of the water, that's the direction to go. I'm not saying 10 years from now we're going to invest in oil drilling. 10 years from now we probably will still be investing in real estate. So always keep that in mind. You got to be flexible. You got to be willing to change your mindset to learn other investments. If you've only been S&P 500, look at real estate, okay? But as you grow your wealth of real estate and you become a millionaire, perhaps start looking outward. But that's for the future, okay? All right, y'all take care, stay safe, and keep smiling. Love life, and Mazske is signing out.